This is the second part of my Super Mario All-Stars speedrun. This time we're taking on the original Super Mario Bros, which hopefully won't give us as much grief as Lost Levels did. There should be a link in the description so that you can check out the other parts of the run. Here we go. And let's start things off with a terrible pipe jump. Oh dear. Much like 1-1 in Lost Levels, I didn't take the pipe jumps especially well, but I'm fairly happy with that staircase finish. On to 1-2. So we've picked up a fire flower, with the intention of making 4-1 a bit easier. For some reason, I forgot how to duck slide under these blocks for a moment, which honestly almost never happens. And then, I also throw away the fire flower power-up by jumping straight into a piranha plant. Not the most auspicious start for Super Mario Bros, but there's no undo button when the run is live, so we'll have to work with what we've got. This warp zone is easier to find than its Lost level counterpart, and while it's nice to have options, we're going to use it to jump straight to World 4. 4-1. This level should seem fairly familiar if you've just watched the Lost Levels part of the run. The difference is that I need to jump over these tall piranha plant pipes, and the timing isn't very forgiving at all. Pulling it off twice in a row looks impressive though. This is where a fire flower would have come in really handy, since I wouldn't have needed to be quite so accurate. On the original NES version, the plant hitboxes are much smaller than their image would seem to indicate, and they're not very difficult to jump over, but they fixed that when updating the game for Super Mario All-Stars. I guess it was a bug. And onto 4-2. I grab a safety mushroom in readiness for World 8, since we'll be using another warp zone to jump straight to it. If and when I hit this hidden block, that is. Up we go, World 8 please. I take 8-1 a little cautiously. Maybe overly cautiously, but I'm concerned that 8-3 might give me trouble soon, and it'll be nice to keep hold of this mushroom for as long as I can. The reason I grab a star here is so that I don't have to worry about timing some upcoming pipe jumps, and instead I can just jump straight through a couple of piranha plants without penalty. My playthrough of 8-2 is fairly unremarkable. I take it quickly enough, but I fumble here and there, and, upsettingly, I lose my safety mushroom as well. That might lead to a headache in 8-3. (8-3), the bane of my Super Mario Bros. Run. 4 sets of Hammer Bros. The first 2 are vertical sets, and they're more or less randomly placed, which means I need to slow down enough that I'm able to react to their placement, and the first placement is less than ideal. but the second is okay. I like to use this Koopa to help take out the third set, but amazingly, the first hammer bro decides it's not going down without a fight, and in its very death throes, it smacks me with a hammer. Unbelievable. Okay, here we go again. It's the second set that vanquishes Mario this time, and to be honest, that one was my fault really. What a nightmare. The worst part is that it was a decent Super Mario Bros. Run up until this level. It could have been deathless. That was satisfying. Now the fourth set of Hammer Bros. Lateral rather than vertical, and this time there's no quote-unquote helpful Koopa shell to make use of. Then there's the meanest flagpole staircase in the original game, but we've not long finished up with Lost Levels, so we can take it. And on to 8-4, which is structured like a maze, and you have to find the right pipes to travel down in order to progress. 4 pipes in the next level will take Mario right back to the beginning of the level, and yet we will actually be traversing one of them on purpose. But not for a while. Okay, so first section. Fairly straightforward. It loops until we take the right pipe, which is this one. Part 2. The right pipe in this section sticks out like a sore thumb. We just need to expose the way to access it, which is of course to hit a hidden block. Lost Levels then took this idea and ran it into the ground. The third section typically causes me the most pain. The correct pipe should be the one after the lava pit, but the way the game decides where to put Mario after he enters a pipe is actually based on the screen position. So we go down this earlier pipe instead, after pushing the screen far enough to the right that the game thinks we've gone down the right one. The pipe we took would normally have taken Mario back to the beginning of the level, but instead we've got this lovely underwater section. The reason we carry out this trick is that it saves a little bit of time, and nobody wants to hang around flying fish any longer than they have to. They can be as lethal as Hammer Bros. Speaking of which, there are 2 final gatekeepers before we're allowed to take on Bowser, and he's left his favourite minions until last. This Hammer Bros' favourite hobby is killing speedruns dead, and that Pottaboo isn't too shabby either. Thankfully, neither gives me too much trouble, and we're done here. Next up, we'll be playing Super Mario Bros. 2, which is one of my favourites. See you there.